What's up, everybody? I'm Adrian Jackson, and welcome to the Labrador Brainwave Podcast. This episode is going to be all about overcoming and dealing with adversity. This is an important part of self-improvement that I want to include more in my personal life. So if you haven't checked out my 2 previous videos, check those out. Let me know what you think, and if they've helped you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have you ever heard the term money isn't everything? I've tried to figure that out for myself, but as each day goes on, I'm still unable to figure out why that is. We live in times now where it costs something to go outside, unless you're going to work, because gas is expensive, groceries are almost unaffordable, especially if you shop at Target, and the price of housing has surely gone up. Back in December of 2022, I quit my retail job and had no backup plan. My son was getting ready to be born, my girlfriend was pregnant, and I was already struggling with money prior to me leaving. It was a hard time for me because I was used to having a lot of money, being able to do things that I actually wanted to do, being able to actually pay for things on my own and not having to ask for money. And it would bother me that I was in that position in the first place. I know that I needed to be working because it's difficult to manage your bills, manage even a lifestyle to be able to live without money. It was pretty difficult because I didn't know how to value myself and not put money in the forefront of who I am, and I struggled with that heavily. So there was times where I would be calling different people and saying, "Hey, like I feel broke. I feel like shit. I don't really feel good. I feel terrible about my current situation." I couldn't do anything to fix it because I was so messed up. I had a lot of things going on, things at work, even stuff off work that was just keeping me away from being focused. I started off by trying to redefine what the word provide means because growing up, I heard a lot about people and they would talk about men. Oh, you got to be the sole provider for your family. You have to provide, you have to have the money, you have to pay the bills, you have to do everything that you need to do in general to be able to live a good life and a safe life. And that's what I wasn't able to do in the moment. I used to feel bad for it. I used to feel bad at the fact that I didn't have money, I didn't have anything to give. And that's all that I thought that I ever was. I started doing other things. I started providing in other ways. So for me, that meant doing things around the house. That meant that I was home taking care of our son. I was there with him, taking care of him, making sure that we had food that was cooked, made sure that we had dishes washed, made sure the house was clean, the bathrooms, everything. And I tried to do as much as I could to make myself feel at least a little bit better about what was going on, even though I couldn't provide financially. I knew I could provide in other ways. And that's one of the biggest things that has helped me and still continues to help me, even though I'm still searching and trying to work my hours and get things done. I'm doing things that I need to do, especially things that I can control and things that I can actually do to provide. Another thing I've been doing is focusing on activities that I actually like to do, things that I enjoy that don't require money and also just require my time and effort. And for me, that's playing basketball, that's reading, working on this podcast, just being outside in nature, doing things that are fun, spending time with my family that I don't have to come out of pocket for because I don't have the funds to do it. And it's also not my control. So I don't want to be stressing about it and also worrying myself too much about it. I want to be able to live my life and live freely, be able to express myself, do things that aren't going to make me feel like garbage, and just also make myself feel better about the situation overall. Because most of the time for me, I know I get pretty stressed out, especially when things don't go my way. And I haven't been able to do much about it. I haven't been able to fix the financial part, but I can fix the part that's in my own head. So that way I'm not stuck there. I'm not stuck there with my own thoughts. Also, being in the apartment for me is a trap. I feel like if I sit in there too long, I'm going to get in my own head about a bunch of stuff. So I try to do other things to take my mind off of it so I'm not stuck in that same situation. For the past 2 years, really since 2021, I've been in situations where I haven't had money. I've been in situations where I haven't been able to pay for dinner or I haven't been able to really do much because I've been trying to do other things. And also, life sometimes it lifes and it does whatever it wants to. And I'm just going with the course now instead of stressing out about it. I'm just doing the best that I can to figure out what I can do to make it better, whether it's for myself, whether it's for other people. That's that's what I'm trying to do. That's the main objective for me is to be able to tell my mind that, hey, money doesn't value you. You value yourself. You do what you need to do. You do what you have to do to figure out what it is you want in this life. And eventually, all that other stuff, all the materialistic things, money, anything is going to come and it's going to do well for you because you figured out that you need you to be able to navigate through all of it. That is the most important thing that I've learned within the past few months. Just being able to take a step back from myself and not letting people or letting different situations allow me to get outside of where I'm at. Because although money does matter, if you think about it, everybody pretty much is in that situation and we're all just trying to do what we can to survive and provide for our families. So we need to do the best that we can to take care of our mental health, take care of what it is that we're doing with our life. Also, just being able to live a life that you're going to be proud of, that you're going to be happy with. Just allow yourself to be free. In this second part of today's episode, I just want to talk about people because nothing has been the same since COVID. We all know that. There's been a lot of changes with different things. People have been acting real weird, different, and it's been pretty challenging on everybody, really. But I know for me, it's been very tough because I remember a world where people actually cared about each other. People actually took compassion. They were very empathetic with each other. And it's difficult now living in a world where it's very rare to find that kind of stuff. There's a lot going on, especially on the political side of things. And it makes it difficult on people who are very empathetic, people who do want to meet new people and not have to deal with rudeness or bullshit or anything like that. It's very difficult to find those people. And for me, during COVID, it was tough because, like I told you guys, I was working. So I was an essential worker. I was at work, and you dealt with a lot of rude people, a lot of different things were going on. We all lost loved ones. We lost freedom pretty much because everything was shut down and we had to stay in our houses. And it was very difficult on everybody. But for me, I just couldn't understand why that was going on. I knew why it was going on, but I don't know why it changed people. And so that started changing me and it made me a shell of myself. So I was staying home all the time. I didn't want to be bothered by anybody because everybody was being so rude. I was being called a lot of racist things. There were things that was going on just outside that I just didn't want to be a part of. And it put me in a box to where I just didn't feel like I can be myself or do anything that I wanted to do anymore. So I isolated myself from a lot of my friends, a lot of my family, and it just became me being at work. It became me, even when I was unemployed, being just this quiet person and not really talking like that and just being a shell of myself that I knew that I wasn't. It was difficult, especially going into therapy with it because that was a lot to explain. I had to explain all of that, and I didn't know if anybody would ever understand it. I had a couple friends who did and still do because I still go through these things and they still go through the same things too. But it really plays a trick on your mind and makes you think that the world is a pretty evil place. And it's not the case. And that's what I'm learning is that the world isn't evil. It's just there's evil in it. There's a lot of evil stuff going on. People are very cruel. And the most important part for me is that I'm trying to, even now, look for new friends, new people to hang out with, people to be able to talk to about whatever. That was very difficult at the time, but now I am in a different place. I'm really honing down, focusing on myself, and allowing myself to be that light for other people. I don't want to be this person that's just boring, dull, or don't have any context. I want to be a person full of love and respect. And that's what I want. That's all I want to give. And that's also what I want to receive too. It's been very difficult, especially after COVID, because a lot has changed, like I said earlier. But the most important thing for me is not even worrying about what people think. Right now, I'm sitting over here doing this podcast in the apartment leasing office, and there's people coming in. There's a lot of things going on. Everybody's going to have something to say. For me, that doesn't work every single day, but it's working right now. It's working. It's doing the things that I wanted to do because I know that what I'm doing is for me and it doesn't have to include anybody else if they're not interested. If you're not interested, you don't have to watch. You don't have to know. You don't have to talk to me, but that's up to you. But I'm learning that people are mad for a lot of reasons. but they're taking it out on a lot of people, which is pretty sad. But I refuse to be one of those people who changes because of all of that. I want to be myself, and I want to continue to be myself and unapologetically do the things that I want and need to do in my own life. Through all of this, I am humbled, and I realize that the person that you want to be is the person that you are right now. The person that you are, the person that desires to be something bigger, desires to be compassionate, be empathetic, is a person that you can always be no matter what. No matter how things look, no matter how things are, you don't have to include yourself in it. And that's the best thing that I've learned. So thank you guys for watching. Until the next one, peace out.